Hey everybody, Drew here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Zippkits 46-inch VBOX build series. So today we're moving on to step 10, and that's going to be sealing up the outside of the boat. Off camera, I went ahead and did the top deck, and I'll show you guys what that looks like, and I'll explain the process to you. So you're going to see in some areas that it might look a little glossy and it may look a little dull, but don't freak out about that. That's exactly what you want. You don't want to build it up and have it on there all bulky, because it's going to hinder the finished product. So just enough. And so what I do is I take my wet systems mix and I pour a little bit onto my deck, and I work it out with a squeegee. And I always work it in the grain of the wood and try to take a little bit, and I'll push it back. But when you're working with it, make sure you've got a really nice drag back, okay? And then bring it up, same thing, drag back. When you get to your edges and you're pulling it back, you want it to build up just enough, just slightly off the edge, and I'm going to explain why. Once you've got it all on the deck of the boat, you're going to take with a glove on your hand, and you're going to take your thumb and you're going to run it on a 45-degree angle all the way around your transom and then back up. And that should pretty much take care of your edge work, folks. Let that dry up really good. And you may notice some of the wood strands, if you will, popping up at that point. Don't freak out about it, because they'll knock right off once you allow it to cure and do your first sanding. And I use a 400 grit on the first sand. I get it nice and smooth. I wipe it down with a little denatured alcohol and a soft cloth, get it cleaned up, and I sand it again with the 600, and I just repeat that process basically in preparation for the epoxy that we're going to be laying on the boat in the next step. So all the dry fitting that we did with all the hardware, we're going to be removing that. I know it sounds like double work, but in the end, it's worth it. Trust me, I'll explain why. Moving back here to the transom. As you guys can see, I've already removed some of the hardware. And the screwing or unscrewing has left some of that wood on the very edge kind of frayed and raised. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a countersinker, and I'm actually going to rasp those holes and knock that off. And then we're going to give it a nice little sand down. And once I get the resin on here, I'll take a little stick and I'll work it into those holes all the way around as much as possible. Spend a little time, jig it back and forth. Don't be scared, folks. Get as much of that stuff into the hole as possible, because it seals the wood. You don't want water getting in between those plies, because it's going to swell up on you and look nasty. So take the time, do it right, and you'll be happy in the end, trust me. So remove all of your hardware, get everything prepped up. That way you can move on to sealing the boat and preparation for laying out your epoxy that's going to be building up. And we'll talk more about that during the next process. We're going to do some work off camera, and I'll show you what it looks like after getting everything sealed up. So stay tuned. And I'm back. It's been a couple of hours since I applied the epoxy, and I went ahead and put another coat on the top deck while I was at it. So I'll show you what I got. And that's just looking so nice so far. Back into the boat, and then back up the front. So that's what it looks like pretty much after it's been sealed up. And you're going to want to let that cure, because you're going to want to sand all of this and wipe it down clean before you start to build up the epoxy, which is the next step in the process. So stay tuned to the channel, because there's more to come on the Zippkits 46-inch VBOX build series.